Hi, ladies. Hey. Hi, guys. Say hello in the chat. How are you? Let me wind this down. How are you? Where are you calling in from? Where are you in the world? Let me know. And let me know what you're most excited about for this challenge. Introduce yourselves in the chat. Love to see you guys. Hey, hey. Seen some familiar faces, some brand new faces. Awesome, awesome to see. Hi, ladies. Whoop, whoop. Welcome to Sales the Leadership Standard. I'm so freaking excited that you're here. For all the ladies who are live with us and the ones who are catching the replay as well, I'm so freaking excited to be able to deliver this experience for you. Now, this is quite the experience. Something that when I was thinking up what I wanted to do to be able to create something completely unique, create something that's different, something that nobody's doing, nobody's seen before, and to be able to deliver excellence in a way that is really going to land for you guys, no matter where you're at in your journey, whether you're someone that's earlier, whether you're someone that's more advanced, because regardless of where you are, there's always things that we can be learning, improving, advancing. And one of my big passions is helping you guys to become excellent. Not just excellent at what you do, because that's your expertise, but in the way that you deliver it to create this excellent customer experience, and then being able to show that, demonstrate that in your marketing, in your sales, and getting that message out there to the world. Because it's one thing to be great, it's another thing to let people know how great you are. And we need both, right? And so when I was creating this new experience, I wanted it to be something that was new and exciting for me, and like helping you guys for free in a way that I've never done before, and it's like an exciting challenge for me to host this sort of experience, but also for you guys as the receivers of this experience, something that was new, something that was different, something that we just don't see people delivering to this level anymore because of the sea of surface level free experiences. And so I wanted to deliver something that was good enough to be a paid experience and allowed you guys to come learn completely for free. No obligation for you to be in my world unless you want to be in my world, but it allowed you to walk away from this experience with tangible takeaways, no matter whether you're someone who is more interested in one session or another, or you're more focused on strategy than identity right now, or the opposite, or someone that really is looking forward to that identity piece, but you've got the strategy down. No matter where you're at in your business, there's going to be so much for you to take away over the next couple of days throughout this experience. So loving that you're here. Let me give you a little rundown as to what to expect from the Sales Leadership Standard experience. So this is your fast track sales sprint. Over the next 24 hours, I'm going to be delivering 5 live sessions. It's just over 24 hours. It's actually like 27, but sounds more buzzwordy to say 24 hours. But it's over today and tomorrow. I'm going to be delivering 5 live sessions. So we've got this one, we've got one at 3 o'clock, we've got one at 6 o'clock. And then tomorrow on Thursday, we've got 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock as well. This is your fast track sales sprint to help you raise your standards, sign premium clients into your world, sell out your high ticket offers, and become the standard in your industry. So no matter whether you're early, whether you're advanced, whether you're intermediate, whether you've been doing this for 10 years, whether you just started and you've been doing it for 1 year or even 6 months, you get to position yourself and become excellent and be setting the bar as soon as you decide to set the bar. Nobody's coming to award you or say like, oh my God, you're best in class. You become best in class when A, you decide, and B, you position yourself to let everybody else know that's how you're moving and how the level that you're operating at. So over this 5 sessions, we're going to be going into the different core pillars for sales through business. so that you can go into each section and really analyze out of 10, or how excellent am I in that area? If I was to give myself a mark out of 10 for each of these 5 sessions, so encourage you both to come along live, watch the replays, attend all 5, and give yourself a score out of 10 across each of those pillars as to how well you feel you do that. So that you've got a really nice overview then, because there'll be some areas that you're really, really strong in and you're like, yeah, I reckon 8 out of 10 in that area. Like there's always room to refine and improve over time, but overall I'm pretty strong in that area. Versus there's going to be some that you're like, do you know what, I really needed this session today, or this was the bit that I really needed, this has really landed for me, or this is my area of, I'm not going to say weakness, but my area for improvement. My ongoing focus to improve in this area, because we've all got things to improve on, right? And what you need in different seasons will depend on you. It might be that you've nailed something in a previous season, but actually you've gone into a different iteration of you, and we now need to recap that same area, but at a more advanced level now. Or it might be that you've got that ticked off for now, and actually there's different pieces of the puzzle that now you've got the time, the energy, the capacity, and the expertise to be able to excel at that new area. It might have been that was either beyond your understanding, or you didn't have capacity to be able to advance it at the level that you wanted previously, but now you've got the capacity to do that. And so over these 5 days, we have got 5 sessions, so 3 today, 2 tomorrow, and I'm excited to dive in. So just to give you a little bit of background about why I decided to create this, aside from just wanting to be different, out there, industry leading, and to create a really fun experience for me as the host as well, because there's so many people doing like masterclasses, and I'm someone that's been doing masterclasses, challenges, boot camps, lives for 5 years now. And so I don't just want to do another masterclass. And I know if I was to promote it, I know you'd come along and get value from it. But we can do so much more. You decide the standard that you set. And so for me, who's been doing this 5 years, I want to create something far more experiential for you as my audience, so that you get such a different level of depth, expertise, who I'm like as a mentor, as a coach, a facilitator, and what it's going to be like inside my world, should you want to come inside my world. And there's absolutely no obligation to do so. For those of you who are watching along live or catching the replay already inside my world, welcome. Good to see you guys. So wanted to give you a little bit of why this challenge, why now? And truthfully, you guys already know that the online space has changed a lot over the past few years, but especially this year, because of a whole range of things. Partly that there's more and more people coming into the space. So since COVID, we've seen that grow year on year, and the coaching, mentoring space in particular has been valued at some crazy amount of billions by 2027. And so people who are working online, working remotely, building online businesses, building their online empires, that space has massively exploded. So there's more and more people fighting for attention. I'm going to say that because I firmly believe that when you're building a strong brand of your own, there is no competition. But the reality is that there's more people posting than were. So there is more noise in the space. So you've got more people competing for the same level of space inside news feeds, inside the online space, more people trying to grab your attention, which means that in terms of your buyers, your premium buyers, your high value buyers, they are also having their attention distracted by lots of other alternatives, options, offers, things to distract them all the time. We're really in an attention crisis. I remember reading Stolen Focus by Johan Johari back in 2023, I think that was. Really good book, highly recommend it, where he talks about how, because the social media platforms have been intentionally designed to steal our focus, the real crisis that is happening is an attention crisis, because nobody can concentrate for very long because of the way that we've designed technology. Now, I'm sure that for everyone listening to this, you know, as I do as well, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this because I'm absolutely not. Um, but if you know that you get distracted easily, or that you open an email when it comes in, or that if a WhatsApp comes through, or you hear a ting, or like your Telegram goes off, how susceptible are you for either opening things when they pop up or staying on social media platforms when you're on them for longer than you plan to be on? Now, if you know that that's happening for you, that's also happening for your ideal clients. And it's nobody's fault. This is the way that we've designed technology. But if you know that your ideal clients are having their attention constantly pulled away from what you're doing, then what you're doing has to be great. Has to be great. Whether that's your paid offers, whether that's your free experiences, whether that's your marketing. In fact, all three need to be as good as possible. That's not to say, for my overthinkers, to be overthinking absolutely everything and hesitating before you put everything out. That's not what I'm saying, because you need to be visible. You need to be in it to win it. But what you do need to do is really focus on continuing to hone these skills, both as in creating something that's excellent and learning the marketing to show why it's excellent. There was a program on that I watched a couple of years ago. And again, I'm not someone that watches a whole lot of TV, but if it's on and it's something like there's valuable business lessons to learn, I'll give it the time of day. And there was a series called Undercover Billionaire. And in this series, they'll take a billionaire and put them to a place where they don't know anybody and they don't know where they're going. This is the key experiment. And also they give them a new identity. So they're not allowed to use their own name or brand or history as leverage. And they're basically just dropped into some rural town in America with only $100 to their name. So they've got a new name. They don't know where they are, and they've only got $100 and they've got 90 days to make $1 million. They haven't even got a house to stay in. Like it's completely, they're just dropped. It's a really, really good series because the first series just follows one guy throughout the experiment, and it follows him as in he'll be teaching business lessons to the camera as we're seeing the footage of how the experiment went. So there's loads of really good business lessons in there because even the billionaire has to go back to basics to be like, right, I've got 90 days to build something from nothing. I've not got my contacts. I've not got my phone. I've not got my name. Nobody knows who I am. What am I going to do to make $1 million in 90 days? So they really have to come because they've got no leverage. So there's loads of really valuable business lessons in there. Anyway, the second series followed 3 different people, each on their journey, one of them being Grant Cardone. Now, I'm sure that you all know that name. Might be a bit of a Marmite name for you in the sales space. Not everybody will like him, totally get that. But like him or not, you cannot say he's not brilliant at what he does. And so one of the things that he said when it was his time on the program was best known beats best. I'm going to say that again. Best known beats best every time. And what he means by that is the people who are really good at sales and marketing will always outperform and their businesses will do better than the people who are just good at what they do. Being good at what you do, but not being good at getting your message out there isn't enough. Now, is that true? Best known beats best? Yes. Are we also going to focus on becoming the best that you can be, best in class at what you do? Yes. Because when you can nail that, that does half the selling for you. You can be getting your own customers and clients, becoming your brand ambassadors when you're excellent at what you do. So we're going to be starting with that in this sales challenge. But we are also going to cover the bits at getting yourself best known so that you can be using both parts of that to have sales happening easily for you. Your sales should be happening easily for you because of you're great at what you do and you're great at telling people how you do it. So that's where we're going to start in this sales challenge. Coming back to why this challenge, why now? And the changes that we're seeing in the online space, particularly this year. I talked about a lot of people coming in the online space being busier. One of the other things that we're seeing a lot of, frustratingly now, is the use of AI through everything. We're seeing it in content, we're seeing it in messaging. I'm seeing it even in like coaches and mentors that I used to like respect quite highly for how good they were at messaging content. And I'm seeing even people that I had a lot of respect for using AI in their content because you can see it, and it really flattens the energy that they used to have. And so if even people that I've previously respected are now diluting their content with AI, it's no wonder we've got a trust recession going on. If people who are marketers, if people who are in sales, if people who know business are still just using this, tool to get things done quicker or easier, it's about finding the balance between knowing where to use AI to be able to speed things up versus compromising your brand. And so where now we've got so many people using AI for content, we've got people creating their programs using AI, we've got people creating their offers using AI. And so is it any wonder why there's a trust recession going on when there's just so much that is over marketed and under delivered? And that is the worst thing that you can do in sales, is to overpromise and underdeliver. And there's a hell of a lot of overpromising going on. And this part of the reason why I created this experience is strip away all of the stuff, strip away the slides, strip away the prompts. You'll soon start to see who are the ones that can deliver excellence consistently versus the ones who are using AI or somebody else's messaging, or lifting things from their coach and like siphoning their energy and messaging and just being a cardboard cutout of somebody else. We're soon going to see the difference, and I think that we already are, the difference between those who are good at pretending versus the ones who are excellent at delivering. It's no longer good enough to be good at just messaging and positioning yourself as someone reliable. Your service will speak for itself. And now that so many people are using AI for your messaging, for people's messaging, we really need to focus on you becoming the best at what you do and how you deliver it and how you get your client results, so that that is speaking for you. Your clients are speaking for you. Your clients are becoming your brand ambassadors, and that is speaking so much stronger than your messaging ever could. Okay. So yes, I am sick and tired, as Anastasia says. Little 90s baby. I'm sick and tired of hearing about people's subpar experiences inside coaching containers or offers where they felt that they were sold something that wasn't received or delivered. People felt like they didn't get the experience that was positioned, or that they were led to believe, like the actual reality didn't live up to the hype. We're not about that. Like, your service should be it should be hype based on greatness, not just hype. Right? And so over the next 5 days, we're going to cover these 5 pillars of business. But in this first one, we're going to be getting into creating something that is excellent. And so if you're finding that the strategies that you used to use a couple of years ago are giving you tumbleweed now, don't worry, got you covered. If you're finding that your offers aren't selling like they used to, don't worry, got you covered. And if you're finding that your audience are taking longer to make a buying decision on your high ticket offers, or it feels like you've got to work harder to get the same outcome, we're going to be changing that over these next 2 days. So over the next 2 days, we have got 5 live sessions. We have got this one kicking off now. We've got the 3 o'clock one. We've got the 6 o'clock one today. And then we've got 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock tomorrow. We have got number 1, first up, is your service, as in delivering something that is excellent, creating a premium offer that is levels above what you see being delivered and is just positioned in a way that it's in this lane of one. It's not comparable to anything or anything else on the market, therefore making it an easy yes from your premium buyer. Sales become effortless when you become incomparable. Yeah? And so just as a heads up about what's coming as well, at 3 o'clock, we've got your messaging and positioning. So creating you into an authority, or heightening you as an authority into your space through your messaging and positioning. This is you getting best known. Then the third one today, we have got your embodied leadership, being someone that people are happy to invest 5, 10, 15, 20, even 30, 40, 50K in for your private spaces or your high ticket or long-term spaces. And they're happy to do that because you are so embodied in your leadership, in your groundedness, in your certainty, that making those high level investments isn't scary or something that they need to sit with for ages because they're so certain in you. So that's the third session today, happening at 6 o'clock. Then we've got tomorrow, 12 o'clock is your main character energy edge. So this is the thing that you are internet famous for, both in person and online, your unique main character energy thing, the thing that you own and are known globally for. Then we've got the strategy piece happening tomorrow afternoon. So this is your strategy to scale to 50 to 100K months by the end of this year. We're looking at content, we're looking at systems, we're looking at processes, your actual strategy to scale month by month, so that by the end of 2026, you know exactly how to get there from here, from the end of January, sorry, start of February, no matter where you are. Okay, so that's what's happening over the next 2 days. There's 3 parts to this session. So session 1 is all about building a premium offer that makes high value buyers say yes. We're breaking it down. Number 1 is sales as a service. Number 2, we're going to talk about what makes a high value buyer. And then number 3 is actually building your premium offer. So into this first bit, sales as a service. The reason why I wanted to start with this is because there's not enough focus on creating something that is brilliant to begin with. There's so much focus on, and I get it, I'm sales, I'm marketing, I'm business. There's so much emphasis on how do I create content and how do I do this and how do I, like all the front of house stuff of getting the message out there, that a lot of people completely lose track of how to create something that is so brilliant that not only do all of the clients in your world get incredible results, but that the ripple effect of that is that they want to go and share it with more people to tell them about their epic results. And they want to go talk about you on social media. They want to go share about you in the groups that they're in and in the private chats that they're in, and in the girl chats that they're in or the DM chats. They want to go and share about how you changed their life. There's not enough emphasis on that. How are you changing people's lives? How are you getting them incredible results? Whether you are someone that helps people with, for example, you might be a doula helping people with their pregnancy and birth. You might be someone who is a yoga and mindset coach and facilitator. You might be someone who is a breathwork expert. You might be someone who is a somatic dance, for example, or somatic movement. You might be someone who is a spiritual coach. Whatever your niche is and like your area of expertise, how are you focusing on making it brilliant? Little backstory here, I've never felt like I'm selling when I'm selling because I've always led with service. When you're really passionate about what you do, it will never feel like selling because you are so excited to talk about that thing and how you can help people and why it's amazing. And, if they want to get involved, what that would look like for them and what it's looked like for other people who've already been involved. When you're genuinely passionate about that, you're just talking about what you do. It'll never feel like selling because you're just talking about something that you love and something that you're passionate about. And you know that the person who's listening to it or watching it or receiving it, what their actions are with what they do with that doesn't matter, because whether it's they take action and come into your world, or whether the next person takes action and comes into your world, or whether the 10th person takes action and comes into your world, it doesn't change your love of what you do. It has no reflection on your groundedness, your level of expertise, how you feel about what you do. You could have 10 no's in a row and it wouldn't change how much passion you have for that thing and how you're going to continue to talk about it with other people and find your people who do share that passion and who want the results that you can offer. And so, taking you back to my corporate London days, when I first started in sales, I joined a team where everybody was really highly sales trained, and I was actually the guinea pig in the office who had got no sales training, and I was put onto an event. Now, this event was already the best in the industry. So it had won the awards, it had got like the biggest venue, we'd got the highest footfall, we'd got all the best magazine partnerships, all the best brand deals. So even though I'd got no idea what I was doing when it came to sales conversations, and I was speaking to really high level people, I'd be having to call MDs, group CEOs, all mostly men, all very senior level men, all leadership teams. Me, as young female, just moved to London with no real sales technical ability, and just have to call them and tell them about the event. And that's basically what I did. There wasn't a lot of expertise. If you can relate to this, if you've been in sales, or if at least if you've been new in your industry and done a little bit of like, I'm just gonna talk and hope that it lands, let me know in the chat. And so that's what I did. I would just hear what people had to say, learn what it was that they were looking for, tell them what the event was and how it could help them with what they were looking for, and they would buy. And they would spend anywhere from 3 grand through to 20 grand through to 50 grand, and in some cases over £100,000 on a 3-day event. My mind was blown. My mind was absolutely blown. I remember the first time that I got a 10K contract, and it came from walking up to someone at an event. We'd gone to somebody else's event because it was a competitor show. We'd gone to have a look around, and I'd started to speak to someone on his stand, got chatting. We got on really well, built rapport straight away. And just spoke to him, mentioned that we'd got a different event in London. He said he wanted to be in London. We were in Birmingham at the time. So I had one follow-up conversation with him after meeting him once at the event. He'd already given me a I want to be there, a sort of verbal yes, if you like, so that the follow-up conversation on the phone was just about looking at how much space he was going to take at our event and all the different other sponsorship options he was going to take. And so I got a 10K contract signed from one in-person conversation and one follow-up phone call as a new person in sales with no technical ability. I was super early in the company. I was probably still on probation at that point, and I landed a 5-figure client into our event. My manager was blown away because this was a big brand, really big stand, really big sale. I'd basically signed a brand new tier 1 client, and I was brand new into the business. And the reason why that never felt hard, and this is what I want to share with you before we get into the actual like offer bits today, is that when you talk about what you do with genuine excitement, genuine passion, you don't need strong sales technical ability to share what you do with an aliveness in your eyes, a genuine passion, a genuine want to help people, a genuine want to get people epic results. So where perhaps have you been so focused on, I need to sell, I need to sell, I need to sell, that you've forgotten that the focus is on delivering a service that is excellent and seeing sales as a service? As in, you're delivering something that is already groundbreaking. Let's say it's however you want to put value to something. You could say, like, I'm giving you something that is a 10 out of 10. It's a 20 out of 10, let's say. And so in return for that, I'm asking for some fair exchange of energy. And this is where the monetary side comes in. Because I know a lot of people feel weird about putting a high price tag to things. But when you know that what you're giving happily is of high value and gets incredible results, then what you're asking for and what you're asking for is a fraction of what you're giving, regardless of how big that price tag is, then sales will always feel easy because you're leading with service. You're leading with, I can help you. Here are the results that you can get. Here's the time frame that you can expect to get them. Here's what my past customers are talking about. Do you want to be part of this experience? So how can you bring more of a focus onto sales as a service? Lead with how great your client experience is, and selling will always be easy. Let me ask you something. How proud are you of what you currently sell? Let me know in the chat. Figures out of 10. How proud are you of what you currently sell? So thinking about your existing offers right now on this day, how proud are you of what you currently sell? And dig into that. If you've just given it a 9 out of 10, awesome. If you've just given a 7, it's like, meh, okay. That's an average. So what's the missing piece there? Or are there missing pieces? If you've just given below a 7 as to pride in what you currently sell, why is that? Anything below a 7, why are we marketing that? Why are we selling that? Take a few minutes to, jot down some bullet points of the answer you've given. How proud of you of what you currently sell? Is that because you haven't updated your offers recently? Perhaps it needs bringing into 2026. Perhaps you've been doing the same thing for a while now and you actually need to create something new that you are excited about and that matches the level of expertise that you've got now. Perhaps some of your offers are old or tired, or there hasn't been enough focus on client transformation inside those offers. And so even though you like the offers, the results people are getting inside your world don't match what you know that they could or should be doing. And that's not a them thing. You need to take ownership of that. What have you not brought into your process that is meaning that not enough people are excelling with you? What do you need to either add, refine, change to improve how people are getting results inside your world? And then second question for you, how proud are you of how you currently sell? Give me a score out of 10 there. How proud are you of how you currently sell? So question 1 was of what you sell, and question 2 was how proud are you of how you currently sell? Scores out of 10. Coming into, well, reflecting sales as a service. I think there's been a real shift in how people see sales, and so much has gone on to your messaging needs to be perfect. You need to be word perfect, and it all be about hooks and context and summaries and call to actions and being word perfect. Now, is that stuff important? Yes, it is, and we are going to cover it in our second session today. Is it the be all and end all, and is it what you need to be focusing on rather over being excellent? No. There's a forgotten art of being excellent. Where have you not refined, either at all or not recently, the level of client experience that you're delivering? Because if you focus on delivering an excellent customer experience, more sales would be happening far easier, far easier. I forgot what the stats is of when a client comes to you through a referral, but it's significantly higher. It's something like they're 5 times more likely to sign with you because they've come through a referral of your existing client. So from a sales perspective, especially if you're someone that's been really focused on attracting new customers, where are you sleeping on such opportunities? Because your existing customers could bring you so many more other new customers. Are your existing clients working hard enough for you? And if not, let's get them. If people are having a great time in your world and they're not talking about it, encourage them to talk about it. You're sat on a golden opportunity in terms of sales here. You can have so many more referrals coming into your world if your existing clients were being brand ambassadors as much as they could be. Where have you not asked your existing clients either to go refer you? Who else do they know that's either in a similar position, or who else is like them? Who could they bring into your world through like one conversation, one referral? Who else do they know? Your existing clients should be your brand ambassadors for your business. When you focus on being excellent and your clients are getting excellent results in your world, they will bring you more clients. And signing those people, obviously assuming they're a good fit, will be so much more easier than all of the effort that is going into finding new clients. This is what I say, as in, your next client is only ever one conversation away from you. It's likely for a lot of you that you're sleeping on so many new clients just because this part hasn't happened yet, or it hasn't happened recently, or it hasn't happened enough. Where are your existing clients not working hard enough for you? And the thing is, if they've genuinely received a brilliant service from you, they'll be happy to go and have these conversations. Anyone that I've asked to have these conversations of, I've asked someone who they'd refer me to, or would they mind mentioning me to people that they know would be a good fit, or is there a group that would be a good fit that they could post something in, or could they share me to their stories, for example, or could they come on video with me and we could do an Instagram live together and we talk about their experience? Or could they create a video for me that I can use on either in my marketing or on a sales page to talk about that program that they were in? Where could you be getting more ambassadorship, if that's a word, from your existing clients to bring you new clients, new qualified, right fit clients into your world? This is where I'm saying the forgotten art of being excellent. If you spent more time looking after your existing people, they will bring more people to you. So ask yourself here, how many people are referring you right now? How many people have been referred to you in the last few months? When was the last time someone came to you because they heard about you through one of your current or past clients? I'm going to share something else with you here. Again, not someone that watches a whole lot of TV, so if I do, it's going to be valuable because I'm a very much if you put shit in your brain, you will get shit out. If you put quality in, stuff that inspires you, you will continue to stay inspired. So I only watch stuff that either I get to learn from or be inspired by. And so there's a series called Owning Manhattan. If you've watched it, let me know in the chat. It's an absolutely brilliant series. It's about real estate in Manhattan, and the owner of this company, we're watching this company who they start off as the sort of underdog. They're not like a leading real estate brand, but they do really premium or really iconic homes in Manhattan. When we're talking about premium offers, you need to go watch Owning Manhattan. It's exquisite. Like the marketing strategies they have to come up with to sell or like to position these homes that are millions of dollars each, to get really unique or quirky buyers in, is like the creativity that they come out with is insane. Meanwhile, Ryan, who's the CEO, will always be sharing little business lessons because he's got this whole team of like sales specialists, each who are completely different personality wise. He's going to manage that team, all of whom are very fiery, whilst also his own clients and how he's building his brand in this marketplace to come up against like the top dogs. So there's so many valuable business lessons in here. But one of the things that stood out to me in series one was he was talking to one of the real estate agents who had been a bit problematic. He was a little bit favored himself over the team, thought that what he was doing was way better than anybody else's ideas, was going against management advice to go and just freestyle and do his own thing, just being a little bit too too out on his own, bit of a lone wolf, and it was pissing clients off, and obviously then reflecting badly on the brand. And so Ryan, the CEO, has a talk with him, and one of the things that he said there is, if you spent less, let me just, before I even say this, the reason that he said this is that the real estate agent in question has spent a lot of time being on social media, like creating this whole brand persona, trying to either look cool or be seen in certain places and just build this whole brand to get really unique clients to come to him. But really then dropping the ball in other places. And so his existing don't know what buyer or potential buyer experience was crap. And this is where he's pissing people off. And so Ryan said to him, pulled him to one side and said, if you spent less time trying to look great and more time trying to actually be great, you'd have it a lot easier. Let that land. If you spent less time trying to look great and more time actually being great, everything would happen so much easier for you. Listen to the sales message in that. Where have you been spending so much time on social media trying to look great and not enough time actually being great in terms of your client delivery? Creating an excellent service that speaks for itself. I freaking love that business lesson. That line landed in my head and has stuck with me to this day. Same one with the Grant Cardone line of best known beats best. There's those little anecdotes that just land. There's something else that I want to talk to you here before we get into what makes a high value buyer and creating your premium offer. And it's that the lessons that I got about brand and delivering an excellent customer service actually came to me when I was working for, don't know if you knew this, but I used to work for Costa Coffee. It's why you'll never see me in a Starbucks, always in a Costa Coffee, unless Starbucks is the only option. But even then, I don't like it. Because I'll be loyal to Costa till I die, brand loyalty, because I learned brand loyalty from these people and they're excellent at it. And so one of the things that we learnt there was all about delivering customer excellence and to do that for every single customer. It doesn't matter what mood you're in that day. It doesn't matter what's just happened. It doesn't matter if the customer before was an absolute arsehole and was really rude to you. The next customer, this is their first time experience with you. It does not matter what's just happened in your day or what's just gone wrong or who has let you down or something's just broken or something's not gone to plan. It doesn't matter. The next person that you speak to, it's their first impression of you. And so your standard still has to be as excellent for them as it was for all the other people that you'd seen that day. Now, for context, I worked in a Costa in a shopping centre where we were busy all day, every day, from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Queue out the door. And so it was tiring. And yet, this is where I got my customer service skills from, is that your service had to be excellent. Every new person was a new opportunity to create a brilliant first impression. And I had to do that all day for 12 hours a day. But one of the things that they actually taught in Costa was that I don't know if there's a word for this, but like I guess it's detractors and whatever the opposite of that is, like basically people who talk positively of you versus the people who will talk negatively of you. And one of the things that they taught us was when it comes to customer experience, if people have a good experience, they might, not will, might refer you to 1 in 10 might refer you. 1 in 10 people who've had a good experience might refer you and might talk about you in other conversations and bring other people to the brand. 1 in 10. However, wait, am I getting this wrong? I'm not thinking of it. It's 1 in 10 and 1 in 3. I think that it's that only 1 in 10 will talk good about you if they've had a good experience. Now flipping with two different things, but it's 1 in 3 who've had a bad experience will talk badly about you outside. Basically, or it's that one person will tell 3 people that they've had a bad experience. Okay, my numbers muddled up. Essentially, it's that the people who've had a negative experience are far, far likely, more likely to share that they've had a bad experience with more people versus the people who've had a good experience. So in terms of power, in terms of virality, in terms of like the potential impact of that one bad experience. And now you put that into, scaled programs or scaled offers or multi-people experiences. If one person has a bad experience, the ricochet of that they share that with, versus when they've had a good experience, how they don't usually share that or won't share it anywhere near as often. So that was a really valuable lesson that I got from Costa, good old Costa coffee. And it was the same when we worked in corporate London, where we did NPS scores, net promoter scores, where like random selections of people were interviewed and asked for their experience and given a score out of 10. I think they might have rated themselves actually, and given us feedback. And anything below, I think it was 8 to 10, scores out from 8, 9, and 10 out of 10, they're your promoters. They will talk well about you. They will advertise for you. They're your brand ambassadors. So 8 to 10 is what you're aiming for. Like, that's the minimum. Anyone that's in a 6 to 8 out of 10, they're your ambivalent. These are the people who they've had an okay experience, but they're not particularly bothered. They won't talk good or bad about you. They probably won't talk about you. They're ambivalent. They're not loyal to the brand. They might have done okay, but they're happy to go shop somewhere else or go somewhere else. They're not going to stay loyal to you. That's 6 to 8 out of 10. And anything below a 6, they're active detractors. Anyone that is a 6 or below is actively talking bad about your brand. Oosh. Now, was that a wake-up call for you? I hope not, because I hope that you're delivering at least an 8 out of 10 and above service as a standard, as a non-negotiable. But if that was a wake-up call for you and you feel like, do you know what, I've spent so much time posting content and getting visible online that actually my lived experience for my clients is less than an 8 out of 10, you need to readjust that balance immediately. So, coming into some questions before I move on to section 2 of what makes a high value buyer. So, some questions. How are you currently creating impact with your offer or service? When we think about creating a real tangible change, creating a measurable change, a real difference into someone's life or into someone's business or someone's health, someone's mindset, someone's finances, how are you currently creating real impact? How are you making sure that that impact is experienced? Like, they are receiving those results? And how are you ensuring, this is the second question, how are you ensuring that most, if not all, clients get epic results with you? How are you foolproofing your method or process? Now, granted, people are going to get results and experiences of different levels based on their own participation within the experience. So everyone's results will are different. But how can you, as much as possible, foolproof your process so that most, if not all, get epic results? So, coming into section 2, what makes a high value buyer? This is someone who values time over money. I know a lot of people get weird about charging high prices, but I've already told you in this call that I delivered and signed contracts that were 5 and 6 figures for a 3-day event. Because there's companies out there and brands that will pay 6 figures for an experience that only lasts 72 hours, not even that. If we're counting active hours at the event, then it's 24 over 3 days, 8 hours a day. Now, obviously, as an event organizer, we're doing year-round marketing for them. So it's not just a 3-day event. It's all of the build-up, all of the lead collection, all of the marketing, all of the visibility throughout the year. But essentially, it's all culminating in a 3-day industry-leading event where all of their customers will come, and all of their year-round work will culminate in those 3 days. So if we know that companies and individuals will happily pay high amounts of money for an experience that only lasts a short amount of time, why is that? The reason that they'll do that is that it saves them so much time overall because we're bringing all of their customers to them. So in that 3 days, they can meet hundreds of customers that might otherwise take them months, if not years, to find by themselves because we've got those relationships. And so we're saving them time. They value time. And so they're happy to take 3 to 5 days out of their diary to be able to come, get in the room, get in the center, the Excel center, this one was, and spend insane amounts of money to get themselves there because of the value of what they receive is so much higher. So it's not only that they value time over money, it's that the value of what they'll receive from that is easily 10 times what you're asking. Easily. The company that I signed a 130K contract with, I think that was a 3-day event. It might have even been 2. I can't quite remember. It was in Germany, I think, in Frankfurt. It's either Frankfurt or Amsterdam. But that 130K contract, that company was a pharmaceutical company. And so of the leads that they gained from manufacturers, suppliers, buyers over those 3 days would have gone into the multi-millions easily. So what are the lessons that you can take from that? A high value buyer values time over money, highly values big results, and highly values having a lot of trust in the person delivering this experience. So whether it's the host, the leader, the mentor, the company, the brand, there needs to be a high amount of trust. These people aren't looking for frivolous relationships. If they're going to spend a lot of money, there needs to be a high level of trust there that the standard of service delivered is excellent. And so these people will happily pay more for a curated, longer, deeper relationship or experience because they know that that will massively increase their likelihood of not just results, but epic results. They will happily pay over and above for a service that is excellent, for a service that is as much as possible guaranteed. And so lessons that you can take from that. How can you either be getting bigger or better results for your clients? How could you be condensing the level of time that it takes to get those results? How can you be showing, in terms of the relationship that these buyers are looking to build, what it's like to work with you at high level? So this is your high value buyer. They will happily pay more, lots more, for an experience that is excellent. I'm someone myself that I would class me myself as a high level buyer, as someone who's made lots of high level investments. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can think of, 6. 6 investments that I can think of just off the top of my head that have been above 5 figures. Well, they have been more than 10 grand pounds. So as someone who has committed that consistently to premium experiences, I can tell you that I don't even look at low ticket experiences. I am not interested in short-term or low-level experiences or things where I just assume that I'm not going to learn that much or that I'm not going to get to know the mentor at depth. I don't see it as unless I see it as a really great value of my time, it's not worth it, even if there's only a small price point attached. Whereas when I see a high ticket experience that I've got high trust in the mentor, the facilitator or leader that I talked about, massive trust needed, that trust is built, I would happily pay more for their high-end experience than anything low ticket they're offering. So take the lessons from that. Now, as we're coming into building your premium offer, how are you delivering measurable change for your clients? How are you changing people's lives? And when we're looking at this from a premium perspective, how are you 10xing that experience to appeal to a high value buyer? When it comes to the price point, does the price point actually represent brilliance? Does the price point say this isn't for everybody, this is a premium buyer? Are creating a unique method or a repeatable process for excellent results? Maybe you've already got a process in place and it's only getting good results some of the time, and actual refinement in that process could really make your results excellent. Can you find, like 9 out of 10 people are getting excellent results in your world? Now, how can you create a buying experience? So it isn't just about what is my framework for results, what is my method, how can I make sure as much as possible that people get excellent results in my world? Because best case scenario, I'd love every single client to be a brand ambassador for my business, because if they all go tell just one person, I've already doubled my client pack without it on social media because my clients have bought me more clients. How can you create pick buying experience so that the first conversation from at first point meeting you through to the sales conversation through to them signing up and buying from you and onboarding into your offers, how can you create an experience that is either delicious, luxury? It's like an unwrapping, an unboxing of something that feels like a VIP experience. It's wrapped in a bow. How can you get it looking, working, and most importantly, feeling premium? Now, this is not to distract you from making sure that the service itself is brilliant. This has to be the number one 4 point. But when you've done that and you've created something that you know is excellent and it gets epic results, and that the price point that you're asking for it is A, high, and B, still only a fraction of what you're delivering, you're asking for like either 50% of what you know is possible or less than. If your ask the price point is only 10% of what you know that they'll gain, that is a no-brainer offer. But even at 50%, if somebody knows that, let's say they're going to pay 20K, but that they will make 40K, then it's still a no-brainer, even at a 50% ask. However, if you were to bring it down to a 20% or 10% ask, and somebody can see that what you're asking for is a tenth of what they're going to get, even more of a no-brainer. So what is that price point for you? And coming back to that buying experience, the price point is one thing when we look at, positioning and creating this premium offer. You want the price point to be showing this is for premium. This is for my VIP clients. This isn't for everybody. It's for people that really value excellence, high level expertise, a built relationship. You value depth. You value brilliance. You value 10xing your possible results. You're not looking for something short term, simple, shallow. And that's not for everybody. That's the whole point. This is a premium experience. This is the VIP room. You can have either other offers or leave that to other people, and you only offer premium within your business. There's the general rooms of the restaurant or the club, and there's the VIP space. Your premium should be your VIP space. So how can you roll down the red carpet for these people? How can you make sure that from them arriving at the door to your online house, through to walking through the door, through to checking in, through to them being seated at that table, that VIP table, and then the service they receive whilst they're there, how can you make sure that that looks, works, and feels premium throughout? Oh, this is juicy. Let me know in the chat if this is landing for you. Now, we talked a little bit about this buying experience. I'm going to touch a little bit on branding because I do feel like branding is important. When you're looking at the branding of your offer, your people can get excited about something from how it looks and feels. And so whilst we're not taking we're not focusing on this over the service, that's always the primary. But what we are doing is when we know we've got something that is excellent, it deserves to have nice wrapping that represents the excellence inside. Think about when you go jewelry shopping and do, I'm thinking of Love Actually when he buys the necklace and it goes inside the bag and then there's all the little things sprinkled on top and then the bow and the like piece of lavender or whatever it is that's like all of that beautiful packaging. It's a premium experience, an unwrapping experience to get to the actual gift inside, albeit it was given to the wrong person, but hey, that's Love Actually. Now, so how can you create that same experience for your buyers? One of the ways that you can do this is through the branding of the offer. So is the branding from the fonts that you're using, from the messaging that you're using, from the tagline through to the imagery, through to the colors. How does that either get someone excited? How does it show depth or seriousness or high end or joy? Or what are the emotions that you want someone to feel when they're inside your presence? Does your current branding show that? If not, let's get your offer branding, making sure that people know from the branding and the look and feel of it through to the experience, through to the price point, they're seeing this is a premium experience. Do all of these things, both from how it looks, feels, and works, through to the experience inside. When you're excelling in all of these areas and then delivering something that is industry leading, either from the level of expertise that you've put in, how there you are for your customers, the level of results that they're getting, and therefore their likelihood to go and tell people about your brilliance, how are you making sure that that start to end process is premium throughout? I have absolutely freaking loved this session, guys. That is everything for building your premium offer. We're going to get into the next session, into messaging and positioning, so we can talk more about how you get into that using your premium offer, and how you position yourself better on social media so that you become into this lane of one. So we're kicking things off at 3 o'clock. I shall see you there and I shall see you inside the next session. Thank you, everybody that has joined us live. And if you're catching us inside the next one, I shall see you there. Toodaloo.